Dr. Modesto and friends are leaving. Oh boy, look what... Well, hey y'all. Today is a crazy big day. Sweetie, I wasn't talking about you. Currently, I'm waiting on someone to arrive, and that someone is hopefully going to give us some answers that we've been looking for. And, well, I'm both nervous and excited for that to happen. Join us. Join us. Ivy is sounding the alarm, letting everyone know that today's a really big day. I don't know if you can see that truck up there or if you recognize that truck, but that truck belongs to Becker Equine, Dr. Modesto, who has certainly been here before. And today he is here to see this beautiful babe. Hi, Val. Hi, sweet girl. I know. You're nervous? Look, everybody wants to come. Everybody wants to come. Okay. Sweetie, did you splash your own face? Hey, hold on. You're coming with me. Whoa. Whoa. Val has a welcoming party. Everybody kind of thinks that they need to go along with Val for moral support. But in reality, Val's a big, brave girl. Aren't you, sweet girl? Dr. Modesto's gonna look at your leg, okay? Yes, it's gonna be okay. Come on out. Good girl, Val. It's her first time in the shop, so she's a bit nervous. We might have to do some things right out in the front yard, but that's okay. I just want him to be able to examine her first and maybe get an x-ray, and then we might have to just watch her walk.
And this side over here is the one we're gonna look at over here.
Yes, sir. No. No. Because she doesn't mean to. It's almost like a reflex. And then she feels guilty whenever it happens. Dr. Modesto already points out what he thinks it is and shows us what she's doing and why he believes that this is what Val has. He explains her balance and the way that she lifts her leg, in addition to how her body responds to it as well. And you can see right there that Val almost confirmed, yes, that's exactly what it is, as she looked back at him. So Val is out here and she's performing for Dr. Modesto and his team, and she's being the most wonderful angel in the world. She picks up her feet whenever they need her to, and she steps back like they ask her to, and she's just...
She's a little rash or something.
Yeah, it's from the hay poking her a little bit. She's had a lot of hay this week. She's been into the end of that one that's sitting up on there, on its end out in the pasture.
You just wish that she would pick her feet up naturally for the dock.
She did it twice.
Oh, did she?
She did it twice, yeah.
So you can kind of see what we're talking about.
Yeah, she did it.
Me trying to demonstrate.
Well, yeah, Lester definitely broke out the chicken.
He doesn't really quite get
doing the pigeon there, and Val was able to do it twice, and it's not that we wanted her to do it, but she did show her issue, but she also showed how great she is and how she will do everything asked and pick up her feet exactly as asked, and how stable and sturdy she is, and just how gentle of a lady she really is. Well, Lester went and put Val back in the pasture, and I just want you to see that all 6 of my horses, okay, 5 and a pony, are together pleasantly here. Dr. Modesto and friends are leaving. Oh boy, look what... So, that was not the diagnosis I expected.
I'm happy about a couple of things. I'm disappointed, well, sad, to know it's going to get worse.
Yes. I hadn't talked about all that yet, but yes,
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll wait
No, go ahead, because we can talk about it and I can shuffle this.
Okay, well, I just feel bad to know that it's going to get worse.
Yes.
But I'm relieved to know that that's very common in lots of draft horses.
Yes.
And I'm also happy that she's still able to be ridden, just not worked.
Yes.
We don't work anyway. We
Yes.
take 5-minute joy rides.
Can I say something that I was happy to hear?
Yes. Yeah.
I pointed out that there were a lot of concerns about the hills and what it would do for her. And what Dr. Modesto said was the hills are good for her because it will strengthen the muscles in her body to be able to allow her to be more active longer. And that muscle tone is incredibly important. And you walked away whenever you went to go get the super secret gifts. Muscle tone is incredibly important to her. So keeping up and maintaining her muscle tone, both from the hills and from riding her, is important.
And how crazy that it only happens in draft horses. You
Yes.
don't have, that's not a thing in
Yeah.
thoroughbreds or quarter horses.
So, so I know that this is really minor, but you see that all 6 horses are standing together, right?
That was interesting. You don't know this, but whenever you brought her out, they all came to the fence like, "Hey, where you going? I thought you were one of us."
Isn't that sad and happy at the same time that they're
Thought you were
like,
one of us.
yeah, they're like,
You're
wait,
just
you don't
not-
get to leave?
You're just getting here. You get special treatment already?
Yeah.
VIP service or what? Because you're big?
So the reason we had Dr. Modesto come to see Val was we'd already had her seen by Dr. Cochran.
Hey, but you better address that I'm burning
Oh,
trash.
yeah, this
and
is-
that's old hay.
Yes.
So for everyone who's going to freak
It's gonna
out,
just
the
keep
barn's
smoking.
on fire, that's old hay that I'm burning.
Yes, yes. So Dr. Modesto came to see Val because Dr. Cochran and Dr. Becker had already seen Val and evaluated her, and neither were able to come up with a solid diagnosis. However, in the last few weeks, I had seen that it had gotten progressively worse and kept happening more, and what she does is she lifts her back leg. I'll insert a video right here to show you what I'm talking about. Now, I have been worried about this for a while, but also thought it's not painful. She's not acting like she's in pain. It just sort of happens. But then I started to get more and more worried, and then bringing her here and the stretches that I'm doing, all of those things, I just needed to be sure. So I had Dr. Modesto come out from Becker Equine with his colleague and his intern, and he evaluated her right here in the shop and in the driveway, and basically did a physical exam and then watched what she's doing. And her diagnosis, we believe, is something called shivers. I'm not an expert, but what I understand is that shivers is a neurological disease that has no cure. It is thought to have some nerve misfire that happens way up in the spine, and sometimes it's on both sides and sometimes it's on one side, and in Val's case it is unilateral, so just one. And as I said, there's no treatment other than build the muscle, keep her active, keep her moving. And it usually starts with not being able to back up. Val doesn't have that. Val has the involuntary leg raise that shakes, and it looks scary. So it is not believed to be painful. It can cause her to not have balance and to stumble and fall. Those are the things that we need to worry about. So Dr. Modesto also reached out to a peer of his who specializes in the treatment of shivers and string halt. That was another thing that I was worried about, but he was like, that's not string halt at all. So he reached out to her and said, and sent videos of Val and just said, let's think through if there are any next steps and what we can do. So we are awaiting a phone call and a televisit, and we're gonna kind of go from there. Meanwhile, I'm gonna do some research on my own as well and see if there's anything. But I was relieved to hear the things that I heard today. Like, best case scenario probably is the diagnosis that we got, because no pain, the hills are good for her, still can be ridden, need to watch it for balance and things like that, and also need to recognize that she's a 16-year-old senior Clydesdale mare. And one more thing, he told me that she had the most beautiful feather and clean legs that he's ever seen on a draft, and he spent an entire year in Pennsylvania treating more than 10 surgical cases of draft horses a day. So to get the compliment on her feather and her feet was so big, because I don't know if you know this, I spend a lot of time on Val's legs and feet. In fact, I spend a lot of time on all of their feet, but the feathers on Val, Talus, Gemma, and Roman, I'll hold that badge of honor. So, more to come on our sweet Val. Huge thanks to Becker Equine and Dr. Modesto and team for coming out and making the drive out here. We're so grateful to have you as part of our care team.